Hi friends, this is Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher. Today is Monday, February 23rd, and this is episode 130. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to those who are just finding me. Thank you so much for stopping by to see what I'm working on, what I've purchased, maybe get a little inspiration, hopefully, throughout what I have to share. So as far as life goes, it's been a busy week. As every week seems to be busy in its own way, or it becomes busy. My daughter who had broken her nose, it is definitely on the mend. The bruising that did come was very minimal, and I am going to take her just to get it checked out again and make sure everything is healing, but it seems like it's better. Thankfully, because that was making me very nervous and I didn't want her to injure it further and create more complications. So thank you for those who reached out about that. That was a kind of a crazy thing to happen. If you notice, I'm in my sweatshirt. It is cold in Florida again. We were at baseball on Saturday, sweating in shorts and short sleeves, and today we have jeans and jackets and sweatshirts, and we're in the 40s. I think it's going to get in the 50s, which for us, that's cold. And then on Wednesday, I think in the daytime, it's going to be 70s, Thursdays in the 80s. So the weather just cannot make up its mind. I know up north or northeast, they were getting massive snowstorms. So thinking of those who are up there, I don't even know what to say about the weather. The weather is very confused. So that is what's happening here. Again, all I can say is it is just a busy time of life for me. I'm sure other people are experiencing similar things. It's just there's things all the time to do, and so I'm very thankful for my hobbies to keep me sane and give me something to do to calm down. I really feel like cross-stitching and knitting and the little bit of crocheting that I do, and even some of the quilting, it just helps like calm my spirit down and just calm me down, because I get very hyped up, I feel like, trying to juggle all of the things. And so I'm very thankful for finding all of these crafts and this as an outlet. I do not have any finishes. However, I brought a couple previous finishes to show, 2 of which are market releases, and 1 is a piece of haul that I was lucky enough to purchase this week. So these both this first one is called Happy Day. It's by Paulette, Plum Street Samplers, and it was an exclusive. It was a gift from the Sampler Guild of the Rockies last year, and I did stitch it, and I have it finished, and this is now coming out at market. So I know a lot of people were able to join the guild and they purchased it through the guild, but there's a whole lot of people who I'm sure are out there who either haven't seen it before, or when they did see it were wondering where to get it. Well, you now can buy the chart through, or pre-order it through Plum Street. I stitched it on the called for fabric, which I believe was 36 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim, which is definitely a favorite of mine. And I used all of the called for floss, and it's fun. It's cute. It was, for myself, it was a quick stitch. The one thing I will say that did take a little bit of time is in the vines, some of the flowers, there's like the flowers are small. And so it's a couple stitches here, a couple stitches there, and that kind of sometimes can take a little bit of time, but in the end, it was all worth it. And if you go back to some of my previous episodes, you can see when I was stitching this. And I want to say I got this, it's like around May or June this past year. So I wanted to share that. I do feel like seeing, and I know you're still seeing through the screen and not necessarily in person, but seeing the piece stitched helps to see it helps you see it a little better than the model cover sometimes. The other piece, which this was from the Shepherd's Bush Retreat 2 years ago now. And this is a Brenda Gervais, or not this past fall, but the fall before. A friend so graciously let me use her chart, and I stitched this. This is also coming out at market. And this is called Where Love Grows. And it is, again, the called for fabric, which is 36 count summer khaki. It is a basic Zweigart fabric. I did contemplate changing it, and then I decided to keep it exactly how Brenda did it. I used her floss colors exactly. I love this palette of floss so much, and I absolutely love this stitch. It was, again, very fun to stitch. This is coming out at market. I highly recommend it. It was really fun, and I love the colors so much. And again, the fabric, I thought I'll switch it to a hand-dyed, but the colors on this fabric they're perfect. And then both of these I did have framed at my frame shop, which is called Eco Art Custom Framing. And let's see if I can. Okay, it's not going to want to. It's called Eco Art Custom Framing. It's in Dr. Phillips. I can put the information below or send you a message if you live in the area and you're interested. This frame, I feel like, if you can see, was like meant for this piece. The lace detail on the side and this frame are just perfect. So Brenda does have some other releases coming out that I will more than likely use this frame for as well. I just think this frame is a really pretty, it's like vintage and delicate, and it really complements this. So if you are a Brenda Gervais lover or anything, I can't say enough good things about this piece as well. I highly recommend it. Oops, one of my long stitches is getting messed up, but I have all those on display. The last piece, this was a model that I purchased from Kathy Barrick. I have loved this piece. That she had 3 models in her shop, and my friend Holly, Hobbies of Holly, she bought one, and she shared that Kathy had these in her shop, and I thought, let me go see what she has. And this was one of them. This, I want to say this was a retreat piece. I kind of think it was a retreat piece for the Spring Fling, which is a Florida retreat. I might be wrong. Anyways, I really liked it. I thought it was a great kind of neutral to go with some of my other pieces. This is available as a chart. I don't know what it's called, but it came framed, and I'm pretty sure this is a frame from Michael's because I think I have something else framed in this. But it's a neutral. It looks good with my display. I'll have put some pictures in the beginning to show you. I don't know if where I have it is where it's going to stay, but I definitely will be putting this with some of my other samplers. I think it's a really pretty piece, and if you're looking for something just kind of neutral to go with many different displays, this could be a perfect piece for you. So again, this is from Kathy Barrick. And she had, so I bought one of them, Holly bought one of them, and then I don't know if there was a third one. I don't know if it's still there or not. But there was one more for sale. Okay, so that is some previous finishes and kind of talking about market. I did want to mention, and I'm going to put some pictures in here as I say what they are. These are not all of my favorites. These are just a few of my favorites that I thought, they're ones that I am getting. I would like to start in the very near future. It's a decent amount, so I mean, I'm not being unrealistic to where I think I will get them all done. But they're just some that I could not pass up. So the first one, and again, I'll put a picture here of what this is with needle and thread, and that's by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And everything about that I love. The house, the people, it's really pretty. And then a couple of there's many others that I also like and I will be purchasing, but these are just a few that are kind of on the top of my list to start very soon when I get them. I also loved George Loves Martha by Plum Street. So cute. The Pledge of Allegiance and also Freedom Flock. From Little Robin Designs, American Beauty. I thought that was very pretty. Shepherd's Bush, the Hope Pincushion, and also Bless Our Land. And I have a whip of another Shepherd's Bush Patriotic I'll share. From Heart and Hand, A Garden's Beauty. And that was Heart and Hand's retreat piece when this was also at that retreat. And I thought that was really pretty too. Liberty from The Proper Stitcher. I also loved Pip, which was the little hedgehog from Stacy Nash. Patriotic Berry by Crafty Blue Bonnet. A Cheerful Heart. And I'm blanking on who that's by, but I'll have put a picture here. Roses and Scrolls, and that's from Samplers Not Forgotten. It's a small pincushion, and I thought that would be a fun either to I'm pretty sure it's a kit to either stitch for myself, which is probably what I'll do the first, but then it would be a good if you're giving a gift to someone who you know who it is. It would be a fun quick gift stitch. Also the Quail sampler, which is by Heart and Hand. I thought that was really pretty. And then from Hands On Design, Kathy is releasing Make Today Count, which I had given away in the previous video. That is coming out. So if you were looking for that or you did not win, that is coming out, which I had already said it was, but for sure it's coming. And Chantel with 141 Design Company has the board to go with that. And then Oh Tomato, I need to go through my stuff. I bought the kit from somebody for that, and it's a long piece, and Chantel now has a finishing board, but the part that I really like is there's a small round, and I thought it was really cute. So that's also coming out. And another thing that I'm really interested in and excited about seeing what it is there is a surprise series called Platitudes, and they are by a variety of designers, and they are all going to be small pieces that fit on vintage plates, and those designs will not be released until Sunday morning of market, which is the last day. So I'm really interested to see what those are and what that's all about. And I think it's fun to have a surprise. So that is to come. Like I said, that is a few of my favorites. There are more, and I did I think I ordered a few others, and I will be going to my local L&S, Needle Orts, on their market day, which is... I want to say they said it's March 14th, which is the Saturday after market. And picking those up that I pre-ordered and then looking around to see if there's anything else. So I'll be sure to share what I did purchase afterwards. But just if you haven't seen sneak peeks or releases, which you should have, that's just a little taste of what I have picked. Which some of the picks, I'm sure if you've watched my channel for a while, are no surprise, because a few of those are designers who I really like to stitch a lot. Okay, now I am going to share my cross stitch whips, and I do have a little bit of cross stitch haul to share, and then I'll go into my knitting and knitting haul. Okay, so the first one, this is also part of haul because this came this week, is I ordered all of the beach charts from Plum, or from Primrose. These are their new releases. Beach Quaker, Salty Kisses, Sea, Sand, and Stitching, and then also Beach Rules. And the one I started with, and I do think I'm going to put this aside because I did start on some other things I want to get done before this, but I wanted to get it started. And I'm going to see if I can show this to you because I thought this was I liked this idea. So this is what I started. I'm doing all this separate. So I started with the Soak Up the Sun. And I'm using my own colors. So what I did is in the chart, up here at the top is the chart. And each portion is on one page. So what I did is there's a note section, and I am writing in the note section the fabric I used and then the colors that I'm switching mine to. So then when I go back to pick this up, or someone asks, I have it all in one place. And I really liked that about Lindsay's chart, is that there was a place to put the notes. This is the only one that I don't know if I just said this. I don't know if I'm going to stitch this one, but I do want to stitch all the rest of them. And I'll probably use the same fabric. Or actually, I put one other fabric in there too. So I put in 36 count Spindrift, which that's what I started this on. And I also put in 36 count Overcast by Cedar River, and I might do a combination of the two. I do not know if this is going to show up or be light. Some of the colors are a little light on that I chose. You can see them in person, but I don't know how the camera's going to pick it up. So you can see. So like I said, I started the pillow. This is 36 count Spindrift. And then all of the colors. I just put a whole bunch of them on a ring. That's kind of how I've been doing some of my most recent, is just putting them all on a ring. And then for this one, I'm writing it down. I have a different method for another one that I'll share that with you. But I love this. And like I said, I think I'm going to put this to the side for right now because there's a couple others I wanted to work on and have finished before this, because my thought is to have for summer some beach related stitches, and I might also get out the Seaside Tiny Town and stitch that. I did not ever stitch that. And so have those, and then have Patriotic for the summer. And I have Patriotic up all the time right now in my front living room area, but when I might move some of it around whenever it gets into summertime. But then I wanted to have some other beachy type of things because I do live in Florida, and you don't have to live in Florida to do the beach things, but that is a big part of my life, my summer, and all that here. And so I was really excited when those came out. Okay, the next chart that I worked on, and these aren't really in the order, but as I went through all of my whips on Thursday or Friday, I forget, and I decided to see what did I have that was either like an everyday or kind of spring colors that I felt like I could work on and potentially get finished soon, maybe before the market stuff comes. I am by no means holding myself to it, but I thought, let me pull some of those pieces out. So the first one I did pull out was Gifts of the Season. And I got working on this. Oh, apparently I never took it out of the hoop. I do not normally do that. I must have thought I was getting back to it quickly. But I did put in some work on this. And so what I did is I completed this motif and the bird. And so what I have left is pretty much the rest of the border and then this side, which is all of these things. And then I need to decide on a name at the bottom. This was a kit that I bought from somebody, and it was a retreat piece. Let's see. Okay, here we go. The chart has also since come out. I did change my house to blue, and this one is red. I changed it to blue because I loved the piece I did for my blessing sampler so much, and that hadn't come out. So I thought I want to change it to this teal color because that will kind of scratch that itch. And now I've stitched and finished that before I have gotten this done. So I'd like to get this done. This is all the called for colors. The other ones I put in this bag to potentially get done again in the near future. I'm not forcing myself to, but they're ones that would be nice to have completed. This was a market release from a couple years ago from Little Robin. I absolutely love this piece. I still love it. This is on 40 count Thornfield, and I'm using, I believe, the called for colors. Oops. And this, my goodness, this is where I am. I mean, I have a decent amount done. It's not that big. I am down to kind of the middle area. So if I kept going, this could get done. And here are the floss colors. They're very pretty, very spring. So I put that in this bag also. And the last one I put in this bag was My Dear Daughter by Blackbird, which is for my middle daughter. And what I ended up doing is there was someone on Instagram. Her name is Melissa. And if you're interested, I can find her post and send it to you. But she had stitched hers on, it was kind of a gray fabric. And then I'm just kind of looking at her photo and mimicking it. I don't have the exact colors, and that's fine. I like the colors I chose for this. And this is 30, so this is where I am. This is 36 count, Barb's blend, I think, from R&R. Let me see if I can get it up a little closer. So I do have her initials, her the year she was born. And then I have the house ready. The house will be filled in. I believe it was all filled in white in the picture I saw. So if it's not very big. If I focused on it, I could get it finished. So these are kind of the three like everyday pieces, I guess you could say, that I'm trying to work on getting done. And that's why I had started the beach rules first, and then I kind of had this idea to go through some of my whips and see what I could get done. And then I decided to put the beach rules to the side and work on these. And then I do have a patriotic piece that I want to work on. And I know I talked about last week getting my floral motif going, and I am. I did not work on it this week. This is what all of those are in this Tilda bag, and this is from Painted Leaf Co. And so I will get, my goal was to have 3 motifs done per week, and since I didn't get any done this week, I need to try and get 6 done for the next video. So hopefully one of the days I'm going to try to write it in and work on 3 of them, and then another 3. And they can even be little ones. They don't have to be big ones, because I'm kind of at a point in that where I want it to be done, but I'm not too, in my opinion, or how I view it, I'm not to the push and like just focus on it and get it done. I'm kind of still in the, I have a little more than half to do. I could do it, I could not. So, but I really want to have it done. So it's this inner monologue with myself, which I'm sure we all have that, but it'll get done. Okay. After seeing my other friend Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, working on this, which is There Dwells My Heart, I had to have it. This is the name. It's by Shepherd's Bush. It does come as a kit. I found it at the Silver Needle, but I'm not using any of the kit stuff. It's the only way you can get the chart, though, unless I guess if you bought the chart from somebody. But I haven't ever seen this being sold by itself. And I wanted the chart, so that's how I went about getting it. So what I'm using is 36 count pyrite by Cedar River. And then what I have in my bag is I had ordered, and I think I showed these last time, I ordered Color and Cotton, some reds and blues and tans and golds and greens, kind of a variety pack. And now I forget. Oh, this is these are ones I bought at the retreat. So I have all of these. And what I'm doing is as I use a color from my ring, I am putting it on this other ring, which I probably, because I have 2 black ones, I probably need to put something on here to know this is the ring of what I've used. But, so then I know from all these colors I just have in the bag to pick from, these are the actual ones I'm using, instead of writing it down, because I'm not necessarily going to be using this color for this. Like, I'm not switching them out exactly. I'm just kind of putting them where I want to put them. And where on the beach rules, I am using 4 Caribbean waters, I'm using whatever. So just a different method of switching colors. And so this is where I am. This flag reminds me of the flag that Brenda Gervais did on her Summer Swan, which I love so much. It's like this zigzag flag. It's so fun. So I started over in the corner. I wanted to get to the flag. Where'd the chart go? It's such a fun chart. Holly has a lot done on hers. But I thought this, and I have another kit of theirs. I cannot for the life of me find it. I know I didn't get rid of it. So I need to go searching some more. But then one of the other kits from Market that I shared, the one that's called Bless Our Land, super cute. It's also patriotic. And so having a few of the Shepherd's Bush patriotic pieces, they're just like so fun and whimsical, very classic. The other one I bought from Silver Needle was This Land. This one I think is a little smaller. Again, you have to buy it as a kit, but I will probably use the same fabric and floss, and I can use what's in the kit for something else. I don't even know what this is kitted with. So, but I'll use the what comes with it for something else. But they're just so cute. Like, look at the little flag and the heart. I love their houses, how they're like tall and skinny. So I have all of this in this bag. This is one of my favorite bags. This is from the Cross Stitch Nook. And this fabric is one of my favorite fabrics for Patriotic. The rose, the flag, it's so pretty. So I have all of this housed in here. And that's pretty much what I've been working on and focusing. So this piece and then the others. And I also wanted to start, and I ordered some fabric for, and now I don't know where it is. It's somewhere back there. Plum Street 250th. It is the chart that you can purchase from the attic. It was a retreat piece, and I have it, and I had the called for fabric. However, my friend Kristen, who is the cow stitcher, she was using 36 count Dusty Road on hers, and I think I like that better. So I was able, and this kind of is going into my haul, I was able to buy some Dusty Road from Farm Girl Dry Goods, Michelle, and I think I'm going to do mine on this. So I was waiting for the Dusty Road to come. And then, I don't know. I can't decide if I want to start it now or I want to wait. So that was one of my pieces of haul. And then Michelle also had in her shop, who is Farm Girl Dry Goods. Let me show the other things. She had a lot of Cedar River. So I was able to get Alpen Glow, which I did not have any of. Sepia. And I want to say maybe Alpen Glow. I think this is what the Quail sampler was stitched on from Heart and Hand. And then that uses one of the new Classic Colorworks colors. And so I'm getting those as well. And then this is Micah. This was one of Jody, who is Cedar River Linen, one of her new colors also. So I hadn't bought any of those, and Michelle had them all, and so I figured I'd just get them all in one order. So that was Cross Stitch haul. And then let me just see what's in here. That was all my cross stitch haul and my cross stitch. So let me share with you now what I've done for knitting this week. So if you are not interested in knitting, you can skip through this. Honestly, I'm not really going to share anything else. I do not have any giveaways today. If you were a winner from the last video, I am getting those mailed out. Like I said, I don't have any giveaways today, and I will be back next week with my stitching. I might do some quilting. I did get in some of my Tilda whatever, I can't think of what Songbird, which is the new Tilda line. I got some of the pre-cuts and I had ordered. And so I might make a bag or a quilt. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. So I could have that for next time. All right, that's my cross stitch. So if you're not into knitting, I'll see you next Monday. And if you are, let me show you what I worked on. All right, so I worked on this says Sophie scarf. It's actually the Sophie shawl is what I worked on. And it's by Petite Knit. It's the same pattern idea, except for the shawl it's at with a different size needle and it's bigger. So I'm working on the shawl. I am using Double Sunday by Sandus Garn in, I want to say this is called Blue Night. It's a pretty dark blue. And this is where I am. I had to restart it because I did start this on I started it on a different size needle because I was going to do the scarf. But I wanted to have just something in one color that was very easy. It's a very easy pattern, and I could work on it when I didn't want to think about anything. So I have that going. And that's a fun pattern to use, or to knit on. And then I also started, I did not bring the chart for this. Let me see where my phone is. So one thing I discovered, and I'll show you how I discovered this. So I follow and have purchased from The Knitting Place, which is a shop in New York, and they have different classes, and they're over Zoom. And so I had signed up for this class because I understand how to do mosaic knitting, but I didn't understand how to read a chart, like a color chart, a color work chart. I prefer to have the directions written out, but some charts, such as this one, only come as the color work chart. And this is what I'm working on. So it's by Sweater Freak, and it's called the Diamante Shawl, and it has this beautiful diamond-like mosaic knitting. And so the chart, and I'll just flash it because it is the chart, it's like that. And so you have to be able to read the color work. And they were offering a class, The Knitting Place, on Zoom. And so what you do is you go to their website, and I'll put this below. You go to their website and you purchase the class, and I forget however much this was. And what that gets you is it gets you into, they have it, you do also have to be on Facebook. So you get invited to the private Facebook group, and until forever, or until Facebook were to go away, which hopefully doesn't happen, in that group are the Zooms, and they record the Zoom of the two of them teaching the class. And so you can go back and rewatch it. They have a camera, like a dot cam, that's showing what they're doing. They're explaining. I was not able to get onto the Zoom. It was on my mom's birthday. And so I went back and rewatched it. You can rewind it. You can go back for however long. It was so helpful. So since I have signed up for some of their other classes, but I'll show where I got. Oh, and also in the class, which is what I'm showing you the pattern on, is they recommended using Knit Companion, which I did not know anything about. I had heard of it, but I thought, I use GoodNotes to put my patterns in. I don't need this Knit Companion. What is this? And it's down here. So if you are a knitter or a new knitter and you do not know about Knit Companion, I do recommend going and checking it out. I know there are some people who have videos on it. I still haven't gone, and I don't know all of the things that it can do, but it does help you. It has a highlighter line that you can move along and follow your pattern. And for reading the color work chart, it's super, super helpful. It also has a section where you just tap it and the numbers go up. So it's like a row counter or a stitch counter or whatever you want it to be. That's the back. This is my progress so far. And also for the classes, you're purchasing the class, and then you do have to purchase your own yarn, or you can also use yarn you already have in your stash. They do a lot of kits, which I appreciate, because sometimes I don't really know what yarn to use, or I want to use the yarn brand that is recommended, and my store doesn't have that yarn brand. And so they put together a lot of kits. This was a kit they put together. This is the colorway that the designer used. And so this is where I've gotten to. It's very fun. You do have to concentrate though. So that's why I haven't gotten any further because my life has been a little crazy. Nothing bad, just busy. And so reading the chart and focusing, I just haven't been able to do. But I do want to get back to this. This is a very nice weight. It's fingering weight. It is a nice, it's not too thick. I feel like it would be easy to throw on, wrap around a couple times for warmth, or you could just have it to throw around your shoulders if you were going to dinner, or it was just a little chilly, but it's not going to be heavy and like overbearingly warm. And these are the colors, and they are the yarn is art yarn. So the light color has some speckling. It's very pretty. And so I'm very much enjoying this. I will, like I said, I will link the knitting place below, and you can go and check out their classes. I have found them very helpful. So that was the one I'm doing the class with. Then I started this. This is called the Bow Bow, and it's by Isabella Kramer. It's this middle one. And I also have this on Knit Companion. And I only have a little bit. I'm still kind of at a standstill because I like it. But I also can't tell if I like this. It is fingering weight, which I like fingering weight. But I can't tell if I'm feeling like it's too thin for me, or just as far as handling the yarn, or I just need to get over it. So these are all the ends that need to get woven in, but this is my progress so far. So what I am doing, and you can see kind of in this picture, is she has 2 colors and then she goes and has one contrasting. What I am doing, and I've seen other people do this, is I am using 5 colors and I'm alternating them. So the next color I'll use is I'll go back to this peach color. And it's very pretty. It's a pretty design. You use the dip stitch, which is the stitch. I don't know if you can see it. It is the stitch that I use or am using, because I'm not done, on my Advent cowl that I was showing over the holidays. So I am familiar with the stitch. It's nothing about it is difficult. It's just, I can't tell if I like using, if I feel like the yarn is too thin or it's okay. And these are the colors. And maybe it's just I'm used to a thicker, and so these are the colors. I absolutely love the color combo. So just trying to decide. Another idea would be to hold the yarn double to get it to a DK weight. So I don't know. More to come. I'm sure once I get back to it, I will share what I've decided. I love it so much. My friend Felicia, who is Felicia Stitches on Instagram, I don't know if she's posted a picture of hers or not. Let me see. She is using DK Fiber MacGyver, and she has a lot done, and it's, let's see. No, she doesn't have a picture of it. It's so incredibly pretty. All right, and then the last, or I have 2 more things. This is another thing I started. Is so Grace and Pearl, which is another shop in New Jersey, they had shown a very pretty, which I don't know where my pattern to this went. They showed the Pressed Flowers kerchief, which is a small version, and this is what it looks like. They had done some kits, and which I did order a kit. But then in the meantime, I thought, let me see what I have to maybe get one started so I can practice and know what I'm doing. And so I pulled these 2 colors out. This is a magpie fiber, and I forget what this color is. This is DK, Swanky DK Dream Beaver. So it has some speckling in it. And then this is a plucky knitter, and I forget what this color is, but these 2 colors together. And I got this going. It's very fun, but then I decided to pick up another project, and I'll show you that in a second. And I'm like trying to power through and get that done. So that I set this down, but this is what I was working on, and this is how far I got. And so it's not very big. This is the kerchief version, which I have a kit to do the shawl version, and I will do that at least once, if not more than once, because there's so many colorways I like. But this is the smaller version, and I don't know, it's hard to see, but the flowers are what have the Dream Beaver, and you can see the variegation in them. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but this is really fun. It's like done with slip stitches, and the I will link the pattern below, because this pattern was a free, I think it was free, the kerchief. And so it's just fun. And I thought it would be fun to either have like a little thing tied around your neck, or even to put it on a bag. But like I said, I wanted to kind of do a little practice. I figured I would easily be able to follow the chart. because it's nothing about it is hard, but I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing before I got the kit I ordered from Grace and Pearl, which is more of a green version. And then my last thing, which this is what has taken all of my attention. So the other things I kind of had been working on before the last video, and I just had forgotten. Where did my thing go? To bring them. Oh, here it is. Upstairs to show you. And so I wanted to show those. But this is what I have been working on the past couple days and trying to get a lot done. And this is the Marled Stripes by Amy, and she is the dyer behind La Bien-Aimée yarn. And so I purchased this kit from Brooklyn General, and what they did is for the stripes they used very different pinks, and the pinks are the La Bien-Aimée. And so this is how far I have gotten, which I am almost to the halfway point. So you can see it's called Marled Stripes because what you're doing is in the pattern for the solid, you're holding 2 strands of the main color. And then when you get to the color, you are dropping a main color and picking up the pink, and then you hold it together, which is what gives it this marled look. It's so fun. It creates a small bandana type of, it goes like this, and like I said, I'm almost to the middle, and then there's a few rows of no increases, and then I will start the decreases. Last I checked, the kit for this at Brooklyn General, it was sold out, but I will link it if they get more in. But if not, I mean, if you wanted to do this, you could always purchase the things separately. But I liked that it was all kitted together. So these are the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 pinks. And I just love it so much. And how I am keeping track of which ones the order is I just have plastic bags and I have the yarn in the bag and I wrote what number it was. And so when it came to number 2, I knew this was the color. I did not have another idea for how to figure that out unless I was to cut a piece of the yarn off and have it in the bag, but that has been how I've been able to keep track of it. And I have this in I believe this is a Project 13, the redesign from Redesigned, and this bag is a great size. It has like kind of a little bit of a stiff bottom. It's nice to keep next to me with my stuff in it to use, and so I've been using that. And that is my knitting progress. So like I said, the main things I was working on were the pressed flowers and the marled stripe. The other ones I had started, but I hadn't shown yet. Okay, what I have for my knitting haul is I did purchase this cute bag from Chop Shop Stitch. I think this is so cute for a little bag. And then I also got, this is a subscription. The dyer is Pineapple Yarn, and this is her Sun February 2026. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I thought it would be fun to get some bright, this club is like very bright colors, just to have to mix with other colors, or I don't really know what I'm going to use them for, but I thought it was And this is like a surprise. You don't know. So it's like bright orange and pink, and there's some teal and some green. Really pretty. And she has a knitting podcast also that I have found. And then I have from the Fiber Genie. So I ordered, and let me see if I can do this without making too much noise. I'm sorry if it is. It's got all this little stuff. So I ordered these 2 colors. This is called Fleur. Very pretty. And here's the name. And I also ordered Catalina Charm. And these are from her Etsy shop. Oops, this is the Fiber Genie. So I ordered 2 skeins of each. Not sure what I'm going to use them for again, but they're pretty. This Catalina Charm, Karina from Karina's Crafting. Cannot think of what her YouTube name is right now. Karina's Crafty, I think. She was using this for a sock, but I thought it would be really pretty for to mix with something for a shawl, or I don't know. But so I bought those. Then she so generously sent me 2 others, one to keep and one to give away. So I'm going to actually, this is going to be a giveaway. Or I'll use it next time, since I said I wasn't having a giveaway. But this is called Altair, sorry, I can't say it, Fleur. And this is from her new Paris collection. I'm still trying to decide which one I'm keeping, so that's why it's in here. So pretty. And this is in the DK. And then she also sent me, this was from her Christmas collection, I think. This is called Feeling Merry. And even though it's Christmas, I mean, oh, it says it on the front. I do not feel like this, I mean, it could be used for Christmas, but it also could be used for other stuff. So, this one as well. So one of the 2 of those will be used for a giveaway, and I will do that next week. And I'll have some other stuff to give away too. So that is what, yeah. Oh, I have one more thing. My friend, and I want to talk about this. My friend Carrie, who is Tiger Lily Designs, she so generously sent me as a little Galentine's gift this beautiful sock project bag, which this is what I have my pressed flowers kerchief in. And she is also hosting a sock knit along. And my kit is in the mail. I did order one of the sock kits. I don't know what's on her website still. I will link her below. But you do not have to buy anything from her to be in the knit along. You do have to be in her Patreon. The videos will be in Patreon. You do not have to know anything about sock knitting to participate. She's going to teach you from start to finish how to make socks. And I think I talked about this last week too, but I'll mention it again. It's worth mentioning. So she did have some of these. I think the bags are sold out, to be honest, but you can participate in the knit along. It's going to be fun. I don't know if she put when it's starting yet, but I'll link to her video when she talks about it and how to get onto Patreon and all that kind of stuff. And you can join us. And I'll show my progress as I'm going along as well. So that was a lot. If you've stuck in with me this long, thank you so much. Thank you for coming back week again to see what I'm working on. I love this space. I love sharing with you all. I love watching other knitting and cross stitch videos. And yeah, I hope that everyone is staying warm and safe and doing all the things that they love to do. And I will be back next Monday with updates. One of the yarns I will give away from the Fiber Genie, and I'll also link her shop below, and then I'll have some cross stitch giveaways too. So I hope you all have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.